So I'm here with Tony Amato from Amato Properties, and we're going to be asking him today the 10 most important questions you need to ask a local buyer's agent. So Tony, I just want to start with your origin story.
Oh, my origin story. Okay, so my wife and I, Sarah, have been investing for almost 25 years now. We've owned small businesses, and 2019 we were looking for our next step in life. Came across the opportunity to become buyer's agents, and we sort of kicked off our business in 2020. So set up our buyer's agents business in Lake Macquarie, based down at Caves Beach, and helping people buy property since then.
Yeah, excellent. And what, you specialise in a certain area?
Yeah, so we focus Lake Macquarie, Newcastle area for owner-occupied properties.
Yep.
And investment as well. But with our investment clients, we will look across the country depending on what sort of area and property suits their needs.
Yeah, excellent. All right, the 10 most important questions to ask a local buyer's agent. So what exactly does a buyer's agent do, and how can they benefit a home buyer?
Yeah, cool. So a buyer's agent works exclusively for the buyer and in purchasing property, obviously. And so what we're trying to do is to navigate this complex process for the buyer and ensure that they get the right property at the right price. As buyer's agents, we do all the research, identifying suitable properties, look at doing market analysis as well. We even handle, setting up people with conveyancers and other professionals in the area. Now, by representing the buyers, we're sort of in this privileged position where we can actually advocate for their best interests and make sure that they get the best property they can.
Excellent. And what are the key differences between a buyer's agent and a real estate agent?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess the key things is who they represent. As buyer's agents, we represent the buyer in the transaction, and our whole role is to get the best property at the best price for the buyer. Selling agents or real estate agents, they're representing the sellers, and their goal is to get the highest price for them. So a lot of the time you'll hear selling agents are helping people buy property as well, but I guess another fundamental difference there is that as buyer's agents, we listen to what the client needs, what sort of property and what strategy they're putting in place. Then we'll go and find the property that suits that. Selling agents have properties that they're marketing that they try to sell to buyers. So in essence, who we represent.
So question number 3. So Tony, why should someone consider hiring a buyer's agent rather than just navigating that property market on their own?
Yeah, people can navigate the property market on their own, but I guess the property market can be quite overwhelming at times, especially for first home buyers. So with a buyer's agent, you have their expert knowledge, negotiation skills, and I guess market insights available on hand. We can save buyers time and money by narrowing down the options and the sort of suitable properties for their situation. And we can additionally have a professional manage the negotiation on their side as well. So all in all, it sort of makes for a smoother process through the whole transaction and having a professional on your side.
And so so I suppose just leading on top of that, so what are the most common misconceptions that maybe people have about buyer's agents?
Yeah, there's a couple. I think probably the main one is that buyer's agents are only for the wealthy or the sophisticated investors. And some of the TV shows that have been around obviously sort of fuel that as well. But in reality, buyer's agents, work with a variety of different clients. We've worked with first home buyers to sophisticated investors as well. And whether you're a first time buyer, investor, or family is just looking to upsize, we're there to help. Another misconception is that we're expensive. A buyer's agent's fees are quite expensive. But I guess the real value that a buyer's agency will bring to the property search is that reducing the time to purchase and making sure that you're actually not paying more than what a property's worth.
So what should potential clients look for when choosing a buyer's agent?
Yeah, I think one of the key things is to find someone who's got experience and strong local knowledge of the areas that you're looking in. It's also important to choose a buyer's agent who is actually a licensed professional. We do need to have a real estate licence to operate as a buyer's agent. And someone who is transparent about their fees, communicates, and really listens to you and what your goals are in actually buying this property, and make sure they're going to fit something that fits your situation.
Okay. So can you potentially discuss some of the red flags that might indicate maybe that buyer's agent's not acting in the client's best interest?
Yeah, I guess a couple of things. Firstly, if a buyer's agent's trying to push you into properties that don't suit your brief, don't match your brief and are outside your budget, that's probably the first thing, that maybe they're not on side and they're just looking to turn a purchase over to get the fee. The other thing is when they're not transparent about their fees, or their fees seem ridiculously low, you really want to understand where they're actually getting paid, because we do get paid for our service. If they're getting fees or reimbursements from developers or selling agents, then there could be a bit of a conflict of interest and they're really not looking after your best interests in that respect.
So number 7, what are some of the most significant challenges buyers agents face in the current real estate market?
Yeah, probably stock and expectations. So in terms of stock levels, the market's been pretty tight and good properties are selling fast. So trying to get access to a good property at a reasonable price is a challenge. And through the networks that we develop with selling agents and other professionals, we seem to get access to these a lot earlier than when they hit in market. Recently, we just bought a property pre-market before it actually got to the market at a good price. So that is one of the challenges I think out there, the stock levels. The other thing is buyers' expectations, and a lot of buyers will come to us with a budget and an expectation of the property that they want to buy, and they just don't match. Property markets are moving fast at the moment, so you may have looked at a property 6 months ago and now that property will be out of your range. So just meeting those expectations with what is actual reality out there.
Yeah, okay. So leading on from that, so how do buyers agents stay informed about latest market trends and those property market values?
Yeah, I guess it's a combination of industry data, local research, and the connections that we have with professionals in the real estate industry. So, we're getting access to properties before they're hitting the market. We're getting feedback on how many people are showing up to open homes and having those discussions with the real estate professionals to really stay on top. And then coupling that with the data that we get from the platforms that we subscribe to.
Okay. So the big one on there you mentioned before about fees. So what kind of fees should a client expect when hiring a buyer's agent, and how are these fees typically structured?
Yeah, so fees can vary depending on the complexity of the service that is offered. So there's different grades of service. Generally, they'll either be a flat fee or a percentage ranging from about 1% to 3%. Most buyer's agents will also split the fee out, so there'll be an upfront retainer fee, and then there'll be the additional fee will be payable on completion of purchase.
Yeah, okay. And lucky last, can you share with us a success story where you as a buyer's agent have made a significant difference in the home buying process for a client?
Yeah, look, there's
only
lots.
one.
Only one.
I know you've got hundreds, but just one.
Can I do at least two?
All right, two. All right, let's go.
So one, we worked with a client who was looking to relocate to the area from Sydney, had his child signed up to a school, and this was the end of last year, so really pressured to get him before Christmas. He'd been looking for a property for about 8 months. He'd missed out on properties. He'd missed out on properties when he'd offered over the asking price, just was getting nowhere. He signed up with us. Within 2 weeks, we had a contract exchanged. Yeah. We had a discount on the purchase price of $40,000. We had him set before Christmas with all his settlements. For him, the relief that he got from that just being set, his daughter could go to the school that they'd got her enrolled in, and the whole family was moving up before Christmas when they were going over to India for a trip overseas. Yeah. So the relief that we see with that sort of a client is just fantastic, after that sort of long search. And they were based in Sydney, so he was travelling backwards and forwards from Sydney, coming to look to open homes and look at properties. So he really stands out. The other one was another client, and talking about self-managed super funds earlier with you, Josh, this client was looking for a property in her self-managed super fund. Yeah. She's come from a background where she didn't actually think she'd ever be able to own a property. Yeah. So she came to us through a colleague, and we were able to secure a fantastic little self-managed super fund property in WA before it went absolutely crazy. Yeah. So the relief with her and that sense of, pride that she got from that simple purchase was worth even more than any fees that we could have collected from her. I mean, it was really, to give her that sense of accomplishment was fantastic. 6 months after we bought that property, she came back to us and we helped negotiate a property in Queensland for her, for an owner-occupied. And again, she never thought she'd own her own place. Yeah. But to see people grow and develop, and I guess this sense of self-worth through property investment is just fantastic. Yeah,
it is definitely more of an emotional purchase with a lot of the properties as opposed to a logical or a financial decision sometimes. So yeah, I can see obviously having that buyer's agent in there, that professional will maybe kick things back into line where people are making that right decision financially, because it is easy to go the wrong way and can end up with a large purchase and can be put you into a position that maybe you shouldn't have been into, and you wouldn't have been into if you used a professional.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the thing, like, and you see it especially at auction time as well. You know, people get emotional about properties and they just want it no matter what. So we do step in as professionals, and we get emotional about the purchase as well, but more about making sure our clients get the best deal. That's where we get emotionally invested. When it comes to the actual purchase of a property, it's all business for us. It's making sure that we can get it for the best price, the fair market price for the client, and that suits their needs.
Excellent. All right, mate, before we go, just obviously a plug for the business. So how do we get in touch with you?
Yeah,
Some more questions.
yeah, absolutely. Just reach out via our website and all the socials, www.amatoproperty.com.au. That's a long thing to say. amatoproperty.com.au. Yeah, no one.
Too easy. Thanks for your time, Tony.
Excellent. Thanks, Josh.